nuts!
Season 2 of the Cuphead Show is making waves on Netflix. We want to see the recycled scenes that this fan-favorite series used again and again. From scenes that are in 2 completely different seasons to right there in the same episode. Let's get into it.
It'll be a memento of the family I love.
Number 1. In Season 2, you may have noticed that 4 different episodes open with almost the same shot. Episodes 2, 6, 9, and 11 in Season 2 open with a similar image of Cuphead and Mugman's house. Little things change from version to version, but for the most part, it all stays the same.
Is right.
Number 2. In the 8th episode of Season 2, you may have felt like you were seeing triple when the gates of hell opened. The gates comically opened 3 different times in this episode, and everything was the same minus who was running through the gate. Right down to that very dramatic music. Number 3. Cuphead and Mugman may have their behind bars sleeping arrangement wired, but when it comes to breaking out of jail, they're not so adept. Every time Cuphead and Mugman are caught when escaping jail, the same series of scenes repeats, and they always end up right back where they started.
What we need is to give up.
Number 4. It doesn't seem to matter where Cuphead and Mugman go, they always manage to find themselves in the exact same sleeping situation. And yes, this even applies to when they're in jail. Even in a jail cell, the brothers have bunk beds, and Mugman gets the top bunk while Cuphead is always on the bottom bunk. It's interesting because Mugman is really the stable one of the two, so it seems like he may be better suited for the bottom.
Good for you. Great for me. I'm very happy for you.
Number 5. You probably noticed this shot of Cuphead and Mugman's eyes in the darkness in the first episode of Season 2. This is a fairly common animation trope that we've probably all seen in cartoons before. The same image appears again in the next episode, and it turns out they're not alone. Chalice's eyes join Cuphead and Mugman's. You may not remember, though, that this also happened back in Season 1, before the lights came on in this scene, and Cuphead and Mugman realized that they were very much not alone in the darkness. Number 6. There's a scene back in the first season where Chalice is driving that subtly returns for Season 2. In Season 1, Chalice is driving Cuphead and Mugman around, and the brothers wave out of the car window. Then in Season 2, Chalice is once again driving Cuphead and Mugman. This time they spot Hilda Berg in the sky and wave to her out of the top of the car. These scenes also definitely solidify the fact that you should avoid getting in a car driven by Chalice if you can help it. Yikes. Number 7. The devil never seems to catch a break, does he? Maybe that's kind of the ultimate karma. The devil gets electrocuted in Season 1 quite a few times. Then in Season 2, Cuphead zaps him with his own pitchfork. Maybe those devil horns are actually cat ears, because this guy seems to have 9 lives. Number 8. In Season 1, Cuphead leaves Mugman in the woods, and poor Mugman is forced to, at least try, to fend for himself. Then in Season 2, Mugman leaves Cuphead in the woods to teach him a thing or two about responsibility. And as you may recall, things don't go too well for him either. It never works out very well when this matching set of dishes gets separated from each other, does it? Number 9. Did something look familiar to you about the first scene in Season 2, Episode 3? That opening scene is a shot of Captain Brinybeard's ship. There's a very similarly framed boat shot back in Season 1 when we see the flytrap on the water. Very different boats, very similar images. Number 10. Season 1 has 2 scenes that are clearly deliberately almost identical. The first and 8th episodes of Season 1 open with parallel scenes. Elder Kettle is making pancakes and serving them to Cuphead and Mugman. While Episode 8 clearly goes very awry from there, up until that point these scenes are almost shot for shot the same. Number 11. We can only imagine how difficult it would be at times to have a guy like Cuphead around. While he and his brother Mugman are best friends, we know Mugman definitely agrees with us. There are times, especially in this season, where Mugman starts to lose his cool a bit. And every time he does, we can always tell by the look on his face.
I ain't too worried about it.
Whenever Mugman descends into madness a little bit more, he gets a very particular look in his eye that we've come to notice as soon as it happens.
Of course I'm still upset.
Number 12. Cuphead and Mugman find themselves caught up in plenty of hijinks. It wouldn't be the Cuphead Show if they didn't. Still, it's pretty surprising that in 2 different seasons, these brothers find themselves running in terror from a ghost. Cuphead and Mugman seem to do the whole running and screaming thing fairly well and fairly frequently, but can't say we blame them when there's a literal ghost right behind them. Did you notice these recycled scenes? Were there any other parallel moments that stuck out to you when you watched? We want to hear all about them in the comments. And if you love videos like this one, be sure to like and subscribe to The Things Animated for more videos on your favorite animated movies and series.